talking Ryan Coogler's 2025 Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan. This was highly hyped, without doubt. I kept seeing on Letterboxd really glowing reviews, and people got it right to an extent. This is a very good movie. In fact, I don't know if we're off to a better start as far as horror goes for the year 2025, because 2024 was very packed, in my opinion. It's already ranked within the top 200 of the Letterboxd 250. Will that stand? Well, here's where the glowing review, and it's going to be a compliment sandwich, so just hold your breath if you were a huge fan of this, ends. This was a very good film. People who are hyping it up got it right to an extent. And let me explain. It is one of the best movies of 2025, but it's being rated as though it is the best that has came and will be the best, or could be the best of the year. I mean, take, for example, like Dune 2. I kind of rated that like, hey, this is going to be the best of the year. It ended up being my number one rated film of the year very early on, which is, it kind of came out at a similar time to when Sinners is now coming out. I don't think Sinners is that good. I don't think it's going to be the best of the year. Who knows, though? For a lot of people, it might be just that. What I'm saying, though, is that this is a tremendous mixture and blend of genres and, like, interesting aspects for a horror story. So you may or may not have picked up on the fact that this is a vampire movie. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm sorry for kind of giving that little aspect away, but there's so many little aspects to truly appreciate that I think even that little reveal isn't going to have much of an impact at all. Because I'm not saying, who gets turned, whatever. So music is a huge aspect. Religion, which with a lot of vampire films that makes sense. On top of that, culture, which I think Ryan Coogler is looked at as a director who embodies, like, putting black culture into films for appreciation. Black Panther is maybe one of the best examples of that. I think it felt like a celebration for many Black Americans, or just Black people around the world, that the MCU had a movie with a predominantly black cast and a black superhero. Sinners is very similar in that, a lot of the cast is black, but this is more celebration of, like, hey, how they are kind of getting past slavery, how they are coming into their own during Jim Crow laws, which is clearly, I didn't live through it, but very stifling to any economic success and cultural expression. And that time period is ripe for kind of the metaphor or allegory that Coogler is trying to tell, which is the twist upon the vampires. And this is maybe a spoiler you don't want to hear if you haven't watched this yet, but I still think there's so many set pieces that are just really impressive that even hearing this, you'll still want to see. Anywho, it's that not only do the vampires turn you when they bite you, and not only, will they regain power if they've been injured, whatever, they can absorb musical talent. And Michael B. Jordan is a very central character, but Sammy, the cousin of the twins that Michael B. Jordan plays, so you may or may not have realized, Michael B. Jordan plays two characters in this film, which is pretty cool. It allowed him to shine a lot, twice as much, I guess you could argue. But Sammy is the cousin of Smoke and Stack, the characters that Michael B. Jordan plays. And he is very, very talented at playing the guitar and singing the blues. It's kind of I believe it's a Robert Johnson kind of inspired story where the devil is introduced via these vampires, but also like falling into potentially the life of crime that the Michael B. Jordan cousins play, which is really cool, like how they are able to have so much symbology and things represent multiple things depending on how you want to look at it, which in my opinion is often the sign of a well-written movie. On top of that, I think Ryan Coogler is doing a tremendous job of marketing this for people to go to theaters and see it. Because, I mean, one of the promotional things that I saw wasn't showing key scenes like a lot of trailers are one to do, but rather he was talking about the difference in if you go to see this in IMAX and how it was shot in a lot of different kind of millimeter film, which is pretty good idea for marketing. Some of the great directors, Alfred Hitchcock, he knew how to get you into the theater, okay? Despite the good marketing tactics of Ryan Coogler, I think this is worth mentioning. We do have a $90 million budget. It's nearly 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. It's an 8.2 on IMDb, 84 on Metacritic. It's being well received. But $90 million budget, and it's only grossed. We're coming up on the second weekend now. I mean, it dropped Thursday of last week, which I think was the 18th. But I just want to double check that. Yeah, it opened on the 18th, a Friday. Made a lot that Friday, almost 20 mil in one day, which is pretty good. And it's almost at 80 million gross. But here's the kicker, is that marketing costs are not included in a budget. So that 90 million, we're probably looking at closer to 200 million spent total. And a lot of the headlines are saying, hey, this is doing really well. It's making waves. It's an original idea. I hope we get to see more of it. But with the way it is making money, I don't know if it's going to be a green light for more projects like this, because it is in all likelihood going to lose some money. That's just me, being honest, because it would have to over double what it's made starting into this weekend and throughout its whole runtime, which is possible. It is getting glowing reviews. Generally, though, I mean, this isn't breaking new ground here, but the first weekend is going to be the most successful. There could be a resurgence of that. I hope so. Hopefully the second weekend outdoes the first weekend. That just doesn't normally happen. But the critical response, I think, could spin that towards this film kind of making a road for others. Will it have as big a budget, though? That's the big question. I don't think so. That's just me. I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. But, they are saying it's speeding towards 100 million. That is generally really good. But, when you spend so much, a $90 million budget, you have to make a lot too. Which, a $90 million budget, that's not even a lot anymore. That's kind of like a mid-tier spending. You know, it's not like a blockbuster budget. It's also not indie by any means. Anywho, let's get to Warfare. This is currently the film that I think is the best of the year. I gave both Warfare and Sinners a 4 out of 5. I do think Sinners, is it one of the greatest films of all time? The top 250? In my opinion, no, but it's still great. And I would go and see it if I were you. Same with Warfare. Not top 250 all time, but it's a damn good war film. A lot of people are criticizing it, kind of saying it doesn't say a whole lot. I disagree. It gives you a day in the life of a chaotic and kind of mission that goes to hell, and how much has been sacrificed on behalf of the troops for what? And that's for you to ponder. But the film kind of gives you a bleak punctuation to that. And it also, like, kind of post movie, as the credits roll, will show too that just because there has been loss does not mean all is lost, which is really cool. Alex Garland, I think this was a really neat project from someone like him. He has a big name. He's someone who has made a lot of money with his movies, made big splashes with his movies, and this is very different. And I really enjoyed it. Very gritty, not down to earth, but realistic warfare, hence the name, I guess. That to me is the best so far. But I don't know if that's going to hold, because there's so many great movies still to come in 2025 that I'm excited to watch, and I will be excited to report back to you. So definitely stay tuned to the channel, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on Sinners and Warfare, if you have any opinions or other 2025 films that you think I should check out. Y'all are the best, and I will catch you on the flippity floop. Bye, y'all.